keep me grounded as I reach higher than I see. Is there something there for me? Pulling back the reins, letting go again. I'm not afraid. I'm not. All my life, one page at a time, I'll show you my true colors. No, no, I won't apologize for the fire in my eyes. Let me show you my true colors. It ain't your rainbow. Not afraid. Something tells me I know nothing at all. I've escaped my capture, and I have no master. I promise with a lie is broken by design. What I thought I knew has been swallowed by the truth. It's time to light the flame right before it rains. I'm not afraid. I'm not. All my life, one page at a time, I'll show you my true colors. No, no, I won't apologize
Welcome back to the SimZone, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for round 3, Silverstone, and currently got quite a few cars out on track tonight. But let's have a quick look at the standings. Currently, it is Mattia Nishira who... Oh, actually, hold on. It's not. It's Robin Schrank who's leading the championship on 172 points, followed by T.Borchardt in second on 153, and then Mattia Nishira in third on 144. So very, very close at the top of the table. And Axel Oderberg in fourth on 131. Samuel Prince, who unfortunately isn't here today. Likewise, Bas Linson, who's in sixth in the championship. Just 2 points behind Samuel Prince, but also isn't here today. But nonetheless, I'm sure we're going to have some good racing. So Chris Bizik stops it on track, returns to the pits, then setting a time of 158 flat. But there we go, T.Borchardt putting it on provisional pole, 158.057. That was 159 flat, sorry, from... actually, no, 158 flat. 158.8 flat, there we go, from Chris Bizik. But Borchardt doing 158.057. The provisional pole time here. Kurt Hodgson currently sitting in P3, 7.5 tenths off. He is 2 tenths up currently on his lap, but he's got a lot of traffic up ahead of him. So that doesn't really bode well at all. Bit of a slide there. But he's kept it together and hasn't actually lost much time. He is currently up. And Bilotti in the 312 McLaren. Unfortunately, his livery wasn't able to get his livery on, but we'll definitely have it on for next week. But there we go, Kurt Hodgson improving his time, but returning it to the pits. Just 7 minutes left of qualifying. We're currently watching Wilson Fernandez, who's 1.1 seconds up on this time, on this lap at least. No, he lost a bit of time there, still a second up, so let's see if he can keep it together. As he's just coming through Sector 3 now. Now coming through Luffield and Woodcote now. And there we go, Fernandez up into P9. believe he's going to return to the pits. Robin Schwank puts it on pole, 157.832. The only driver to get into the 157s currently. And Kurt Hodgson back out on the track. Chris Pizek currently in 4th. Yeah, currently in 4th. No improvement there for him. I believe he's on his outlap here. But Luke Viken using the SimZone McLaren setups, just a second off, currently sitting in P5. And I think this is also an outlap for him, sorry. But Robin Schwank now back out on track, and he seems like he wants to improve. Not that confident that he can keep pole position. Zachetti now watching, who is 3/10 up on his time, about to come across the line here. That's going to place him about P4 actually. There we go. Put into P4. So a good time there from Zachetti. I commentated on him yesterday, in fact, in another league. But let's look down towards Totev. He's currently running in P14. Not great. Not where you'd expect him to be. But he's 9/10 up. And across the line, puts it into P9. But I'm sure he can improve a bit more. The M4 and the McLaren have both been nerfed after the new update. But I'm sure Totev isn't exactly where he wants to be at the moment. Let's have a look at Kurt Hodgson, who's just entered the final sector here. And he is 3/10 up. Nishira there puts it into P3 with the Bentley. The Bentley, a very, very strong car around Silverstone. And Kurt with a bit of a wiggle on exit. He's lost the 3/10 he had. And he's actually down a 10th now. So not going to be an improvement for him. Now Tia Nishira is up on his time. Just bear with us a second. Just trying to sort out our other commentator's microphone. Let's see. It's not working at the moment, unfortunately. But currently watching Nishira, who's actually 2/10 up on his current time. And let's look down to Luke Viken, who's 4/10 up. This is going to be interesting. Coming up to the final few corners now. Luffield and Woodcut, very famous corners here at Silverstone. And he's still 2/10 up. Oh, I think he's lost some time there, so only 2/10 up now. But where does it place him? Puts it into P6. And just pips Chris Pizek there. 8 thousandths the difference between those two drivers. And let's go back to qualifying here. Robin Schwank does, I believe, improves his time. 157.475. Mattia Nishira now into the 157s. And he is currently up on his time. T.Borchardt not on a flying lap. Kurt Hodgson now 6/10 up. About to cross the line here. Puts it into P3. There we go. Borchardt into P3 now. So yeah, Kurt up into P3, Robin Frank into the pits now. So he won't be able to improve his time. He's settled. His qualifying is done. Leon now about to cross the line, who is... No, I don't think he's going to improve. So P10 for him, and his qualifying's over. David Michaels currently sitting in P9, was 3/10 up, now just a 10th. But he's... No, I think he's lost it on the exit, so he may or may not improve. Axel Oderberg, who's running at P12 surprisingly, is 5/10 up on his lap currently. Let's see if he can keep it together here. Just about to enter the third sector now. So actually go on board here with the number 45 Audi of Oderberg, using all of the track possible. Heavy under the brakes now, gets it tucked in nicely, uses the entry curb and V's out the corner slightly there. Using all of the exit curb, he's still 6/10 up. Where is this going to put him? It's going to be very close. And he crosses the line, puts it into P7. That's his qualifying over, so very good lap there from Oderberg. Now we've only got a few cars out left on the track. Robin Schwank sets it on pole, Nashira in second and Kurt in third. T.Borchardt, who wasn't able to improve in P4. But currently watching Zaschetti, who is not up for an improvement at the moment. We've got Stuart Pryor, who is currently 6/10 up. Ortiz as well, who is 4/10 up at the moment. All these drivers now just finishing their laps. Zaschetti with no improvement crosses the line. So it's down to Stuart Pryor now. Actually, where's the number 8 car of Tom Curtin? No, he's 7/10 down, so that's his qualifying over. Stuart Pryor is... No, we've got the 132 car, Ortiz, who's 7/10 up. Takes the shortest line to the start-finish line and does improve. So puts it into P20. Stuart Pryor now currently sitting in P22. Crosses the line, and there we go. We'll be back very shortly for the race, so make sure to stay tuned. Right, welcome back. We're on the formation lap now. As we saw in qualifying, Robin Schrank taking pole position, Mattia Nishira in second and Kurt Hodgson in third. And we're actually joined now, once we've got the microphone sorted out, by Joshua Howard.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to have you here once again for the PC Championship. And currently Robin Schrank leading the championship as well, taking another pole position. But predictions for today, Josh?
I'm not sure. Silverstone's always great for racing, a lot of overtaking opportunities, and there's a great range of cars here, as we see in the top three, well, top four actually. There's 3 different manufacturers, so it's definitely going to shape up. Can't really be certain, but I think Robin Schrank will certainly finish up on the podium. Maybe we might see T.Borchardt make away position or 2 as well, so be definitely excited to see.
Yeah, definitely, and Thorsten not having the best of races recently, and I don't think he's happy with the nerf that's happened to the M4, but it's definitely brought both cars, the McLaren and the M4, closer to the rest of the field. Here we go, lining up side by side now, approaching the final corner, getting ready for lights out. 1 hour here at Silverstone.
Red light ahead of the drivers now. Let's see who can get the best start. Going into Cops now. Always a quite suspenseful moment. Getting all information.
Here we go, and we're green, green, green. Looks like Schrank got a very good start. Likewise has Nishira. Kurt poking his nose up the inside, but not able to get the move done. He's going to try keep it, but no. Maggots and Beckett's a very, very tricky corner to go side by side through. And I think all those drivers in front, top 5, retaining their positions, so no one losing out. And I think everyone through the field. Let's look further down. Oh, Chris Bizek's had a mare there. He doesn't have any damage on the car, so he must have lost it himself. But something's happened to him. As you can see, yeah, no damage whatsoever on his car. But Robin Schrank now opening up a gap to the drivers behind. Looks like Nishira's defending the inside from Kurt, who's all over the back of him now. Likewise, T.Borchardt on the back of these two. And
Let's see if...
Yep, go on.
Let's see if he can tee him up now to make a move very, very close behind, obviously now going into Vale and Club, but now we're out on the Hamilton straight. Let's see now the McLaren behind the Bentley stretch his legs now through Abbey. Let's see if anyone can make up any time. There's Thorsten, beautiful livery there. Oh, almost poking it around the outside of there of Hodgson. Oh,
yeah,
he is trying to go around the outside there.
He tried to have the inside for the corner, but Kurt defended it, and Borchardt had to go the long way around. He's not able to get the move done, and these two battling are going to lose some time to Nishira ahead. Actually, surprisingly, not much. Nishira's still within range of them two, but Schrank has opened up the gap to 1.6 seconds now. Let's actually look further down the field. There's so many cars extremely close to each other, and Kurt almost tagging the back of Nishira there. Much better on the brakes. McLaren is very, very strong on the brakes, as we know, but let's look further down the field. Battle for P9 is quite strong. David Michaels has got Victor Gerson right in the back of him. BMW sandwich here. The smaller car of the Aston. It's got 2 huge M4s between him, one in front and one behind, but Luke Viken not the best start for him either. Started in P8 and is down in P3 now. He's lost 3 positions, sorry, so he's down in P11 now. But it's better to lose a few positions than cause some mayhem at the start. But yeah, very, very clean start from all the drivers here. And Chris Bizek now making some moves back up. He's got to do all his hard work from qualifying again. But a very long race here with a mandatory pit stop, so he can use that to his advantage. It looks like Kudasov has got past. No, Carl Van Horn has managed to hold on to the position. He's going to try hold it around the outside, and yes, he does. So Artem going to have to settle for P19 here. But look at this. That's Cameron, I think. No, that's James Haskell, sorry. In the McLaren, having a look. But Kudasov trying to go around the outside. of Carl Van Horn. Is he going to get it done? Still side by side. Kudasov running wide there. I think Carl Van Horn might have the corner. No, Kudasov has kept it around the outside. So good move there by Kudasov. We saw it in the background. Jan Barth, also known as the Wall, running wide. But he's got, I believe that's Chris Bizik close to him. Let's go back to the race lead here. Schrank has opened up a 1.9 second gap. Shearer still defending from Kurt and Borchardt.
Definitely got some breathing room now between him. That he can really relax a little bit now, but this is definitely left Nashira and Hodgson still there. They're still trying to fight over second place. Let's see if they try and work together to catch the first place car, or they still battle. And just as background with the T.Borchardt, he's dropped behind about a second, 8/10 exactly. So obviously Kurt has got a bit of breathing room there, but definitely shaping up to be a good race already, and we haven't even done 3 laps.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Robin Frank's just going to run away with this, but this is the battle we want to be focusing on. Nishira, Kurt and Borchardt. We've actually got Totev in P5. You can see there in the background, not too far off. Axel Oderberg as well, up into P6. He started in P7, so both Totev and Oderberg up a position off the start, and they're going to be closing in on these drivers 2nd, 3rd and 4th if they continue battling like this.
It's definitely going to be a game of waiting and capitalising in these open parts of the stages, of the race, and the first part of the kind of the pre-pit stop window. Really, cars are still closely together, so it's definitely going to be a game of capitalisation. Thorsten will definitely be trying to take part in that. If the Nashira and Hodgson do keep battling, then we'll have Borchardt trying to make a move on them. But that looks to be Borchardt actually trying to make a move on Kurt there, going into what looked to be Village there. Now they're going out onto the Wellington Straight, once again stretching the legs. That beautiful looking BMW now slightly catching Hodgson now going into Brooklands. Let's see if he can catch him now going into these final corners.
He's gone a bit deep there under the brakes, but got a different line to Kurt, a later apex, but I don't think it's helped him. He's got a bit of a wiggle on the exit once again, but he's using much more of the exit on the track compared to the McLaren of Kurt here. But yeah, Kurt and Thorsten losing a lot of time to Nishira ahead. You can see him there just up ahead. He's opened the gap of about 8/10 now to Kurt. He's going to be trying to close the gap to Schrank, but it's not going to be easy for him. You see they're kicking up a bit of dirt, sparks flying as well coming through Maggots and Beckett's. Very easy to misjudge your braking and run deep into the corner. But let's go back trackside now. And Kurt still holding on from Borchardt. You can see the rear end of the car isn't that stable, but that's maybe how he likes the car and how he drives. And it doesn't really seem to be hindering his lap times. He's still on the back of Kurt, so we'll keep an eye on these two. Let's look down to the battle for P5. Totev and Oderberg still quite close to each other, but I think their best bet would be working together to catch up to the drivers ahead. And they've now got Zachetti on the back of them as well. So 3 cars battling for P5 early on in the race.
Great to see the pre-pit stop battles, and it also does shape up the pit stop phase and the pit window really well. You can sometimes see drivers that have fallen off at the start, maybe dropped a few positions, get them positions back. It's a great aspect of GT racing, especially at Silverstone. You've got that very high wear rate on that front left tyre. Drivers will really start to feel it in terms of even the later part of the first half of the race, maybe near the 20-minute mark. The tyre wear will really start to settle in, so it's definitely going to be something to look out for before and after the pit stop phase on kind of track position, and whether drivers have made up any positions or lost any.
Yeah, I think drivers may as well go for the tyre change. Silverstone, a very, very wide circuit, so you're not going to really gain anything by not changing tyres. If it was a narrow track like we had Zolder last week, where it's so easy to defend, I think getting the jump and not changing tyres is definitely beneficial. But not here at Silverstone. We're currently watching Leon sitting in P8. He's made 3 positions off the start, and he's got David Michaels not too far behind him in the number 32 Aston, followed by Wilson Fernandez, Scott Brewer and Victor Guerson. And we've got in the comments Didi saying no Porsches, no Mercedes either. There is a Porsche, there is a few Porsches out on track at the moment. Let's look further down the field. Jan Barth in the Porsche, also boosting, currently running a P27 in the Porsche, but yeah, no Mercedes on track. Doesn't seem to be the favoured car here. Oh, we've got Yannik Petrschek off there. Not sure what's happened to him. Seems to have a bit of damage on the front of his car. Quite some substantial damage actually on the front of that Audi. And unfortunately he's dropped down to P26 now. It will update on the tower shortly. But that's not great for him. The Shearer is now closing the gap to Frank Bentley, a very good car round Silverstone. The BOP is extremely good for the Bentley, and it's evident here that he's closing the gap to Frank. Now let's look at the battle for P3 here. Still, as it were, Kurt Hodgson in P3 and Thorsten Borchardt in P4. So no position changes there. Let's look down to the battle for P5 then. Totev holding on, but Otterberg not really trying to push the car to do battle with him. I think they've actually lost some time to Borchardt and Hodgson ahead. But we'll keep an eye on the gap. 2.8 seconds currently. We've got another battle heating up for P9. We saw these drivers on earlier. Michaels was less than a second to Leon, but he seems to have lost some time. He's now facing pressure from Wilson Fernandez, who's about 6.5 tenths behind him. Also Scott Brewer there in the number 224 Aston closing in. So potentially a 3-car battle now for P9.
Definitely shaping up to be an exciting little battle up ahead soon. As you see Sam Brewer going, they're all now going into Vale. Let's see if he can maybe close the gap now through this fast part of the track. Let's now see. We're going to go on board now with the number 224 Aston Martin now, following closely behind Fernandez and David Michael. Am I right about that? Yeah, I am.
Yep.
Thought I was wrong then for a second. That wouldn't have been good. Now going into Village. Let's see if. Oh, and that is Fernandez touching the inside sausage curb there. Losed a lot of time, and he's taken an earlier entry now, going out to the Wellington Straight. Looks to have got a better run. Let's see now if he can make up. Any of the drivers can make up at any time on the brakes.
Yeah, Brewer had his exit compromised due to Fernandez a bit too slow into the corner, but he's just going to be waiting in the wings of these two drivers and capitalising on any mistakes that he makes. Short shift there from Brewer, as we heard, and a bit of a wiggle on exit as well, and he's lost some time as a result. You can see the Aston of David Michaels and the BMW of Fernandez just pulling away. But I think, oh, that's Fernandez taking a lot of the inside curve there, almost losing the car, but he's held it together. Let's go trackside now. Both the drivers extremely close coming to the Maggots and Beckett's. Fernandez with a bit of latency issues there. I think Brewer has to be a bit careful. But let's look back at the gap at the top, 1.3 seconds. The Shearer really closing down the gap now in the early stages of this race.
Definitely, for sure, I have a feeling the Shearer is going to catch Schwank before the pit stop phase. So let's see if them two can maybe even remotely come close together before the pit stop phase, maybe, and then it'll be even more interesting to look for in the pit window. Let's see who pits first, who goes with more fuel, and there's a lot of variables to a pit stop here in Assetto Corsa, but it's definitely shaping up already to become exciting in the later part. And that, oh, he's lost a bit of time there through the middle sector. Has Shearer talking to that?
Yeah, I think he's like 3/10. Yeah, there we go, 3/10 down on his best lap. But Nishiro currently with the best lap of 1:57.775. So the only driver to get into the 1:57s in race pace, even Schwank not able to get into the 1:57s yet. But still holding on to the lead. And let's look further down for the battle. There's quite a few battles going on. Actually, P9 once again, David Michaels still holding on. But he's got a train of cars behind him. Fernandez and Brewer still stuck to the rear of Michaels. They're not going to let him go. But these three seem to be catching up slightly to Leon. And that's Brewer just picking up a bit of the dirt on exit. And losing some time as a result. We've got Sheck and Bilotti very, very close. We'll bring them up on the secondary screen here in a second. There we go, on the secondary screen now. We're just currently watching Sheck in the number 16 Audi. He's got Bilotti and Guison in front of him. Bilotti behind him, sorry, and Guison in front of him. But there we go. Fernandez extremely close to Michaels. Michaels having to go defensive now, and Fernandez having a look up the outside. Very, very close. Both drivers leaving each other enough room. But Fernandez having to back out of that one. He's not able to get the move done. Is Brewer going to try and capitalise? No, he's a bit too far back to make a move here. But Fernandez going slightly deep. Has compromised his exit. You can see how close Brewer is. A bit of a wiggle there from Fernandez. Is Brewer going to have a look here? Fernandez going slightly defensive. No, back onto the racing line. And he's going to hold on for P10. Gap at the top is slightly increased now. But here we go. Fernandez having to go defensive. Brewer with a late look down the inside. Has he got the move done? A very good move there from Brewer. Is he going to have the inside for the next corner? Yes, he is. Can Fernandez fight back? No. Brewer up into P10. A very, very late move. And very impressive there from Brewer. Good racing from both these two drivers. And there we go. Fernandez down into P11. Brewer up into P10. He's now got no cars between him and Michaels. So he's going to keep an eye. We'll keep an eye on that battle. Let's look further down for the battle for P15. Looks like Kudasov is having to defend from Ortiz. Lap times between these two drivers. Kudasov was a 10th slower than Ortiz that last lap. But pit window opens in about 3.5 minutes. We'll see if there's anyone, if any driver does dive into the pits straight away. We've also got another battle down in P22. Jan Barth having to defend from Omar in P23. Good to see Jan back on track with us after a long-awaited break. He is back and running well here in P22. His first race back. Definitely a respectable position. But Omar and S. Pryor very, very close here. Battle for P22. This battle's going on all the way throughout the field.
Great to see the range of racing, as you said, but all throughout the field it's never stops the excitement here at GT Racing, especially at Silverstone. Absolutely great now. It looks to be now that Jan Barth has 2 cars behind him now, hungry for 22nd position. He's about 3.5 seconds behind Carl Van Horn, so I don't think we'll be seeing a battle anytime soon unless something's happened. But there's, as I said, 2 cars behind him are definitely hungry, so I think maybe we might just see a little battle before the pit stop phase. So it's going to be definitely exciting to see. What Jan Barth.
Oh, that's sorry to interrupt. That's Omar having to defend from Pryor had to look up the inside, but Omar had to go defensive there. And he's held on to the position, but we had a change in position for P9. That's David Michaels losing 2 positions to Wilson Fernandez and Brewer, so we're not sure what happened there. But it's not a good result there for Michaels. Let's hope he can claw back the positions here.
Let's see if he can make up those positions, but we go back down now to Kudasov, trying to hold off Chris Pisuk now in the 315 BMW through Maggots, through Beckett, and these very, very fast corners at Silverstone. I think the best corners on the any calendar really. Very, very nice and fast. Oh, and he manages to tee him up now for the next corner. Let's see now if Chris Pisuk can keep it up the inside now. Going now through into the final sector, I think this is now that the middle sector now. It's going into Stowe, keeps on the inside. Let's see if Kudasov can hang it around the outside. Uzil the run off there, but Pisuk does actually manage to get the move done now, going into Vale. Still manages to hold Kudasov off, and heading now through Club onto the Hamilton Straight.
Yeah, great move there by Pisuk. It's just a recovery drive for him now. We're not sure what happened at the start, but like I said earlier, he's got no damage on the car. So maybe a mistake for him, but P15, which is a good position after the mistake on the first lap, but definitely not compared to where he qualified, which was in P5. So he's lost 10 positions off the start. And let's go back to the battle for third. Sorry, Kurt just managing the gap to Borchardt there. 7/10 between the two drivers. Kurt running wide there. He's made a massive mistake. He's going to pick up a track warning for that, but I don't think he's gained any time as a result to Borchardt.
Wonder how that happened. Maybe some loss of focus or something. That's quite an interesting racing line there.
Yeah,
sure.
He's got some understeer. We saw. Didn't quite make the apex, and ran wide as a result. But the McLaren does have some more understeer. In the slow to mid corners, or mid to high corners actually, high speed corners, after the new update, which is very realistic compared to its real life characteristics. But let's look. Yeah.
That's P15. Fernandez in the pits already. That's quite early. See him dropping down the order there. But now we go trackside with Totev for the battle for 5th. Oderberg still within a second behind him. It's been pretty spectacular. He's managed to keep that gap and follow so closely behind now. Going into Village. Can they both drivers avoid the sausage curb there? Very deadly. And oh, that was Oderberg almost tagging the back there. That was the Audi driver getting quite close there.
Yeah, it was very close under braking, but managed to get the car stopped in time. Oderberg and Totev, very seasoned drivers here at the SimZone. And taking different lines now. Oderberg trying to have a look up the inside, almost making contact there with Totev. But the move didn't pay off well, sorry. And now he's just settling here for P6, but he's really trying to get the move done on Totev. Looks like Totev with the better exit now coming into Maggots and Beckett. We've got Leon into the pits as well. But yeah, Oderberg not able to get the move done. Let's look further down now to the battle for P12. Sheck has got Pisuk now behind him. So Pisuk making some gains here in the second, well, coming towards the second half of the race. Now coming through Maggots and Beckett. Chris Pisuk is hot on Sheck's tail here. Let's compare the last laps. Last lap from Pisuk was a 1:59.670, and he's having a look down the inside now. He's got the run coming down the straight. He's going to have a look down the inside. Sheck leaving him enough room, And there we go, Chris Pizek up into P11. So good move there by Chris. But yeah, let's look further down. We've got another battle heating on for P13. We saw this earlier on. Bilotti's got Kudasov not too far behind him. Ortiz, is that Ortiz? Yeah, Ortiz going for a move on, I believe that's a back marker. I think that's Yannik Petrušek. Yes, it is. That is Petrušek, who's already served his pit stop. It's mandatory pit stop, so both drivers on different strategies. But Kudasov losing some time to Bilotti in front. This driver's still a bit spaced out. A second separating Shek, Bilotti and Kudasov. Better Ortiz now closing the gap to Kudasov. He's actually got Yannick, who may be on fresher tyres, behind him. But there we go, that's Michael's into the pits, Shek into the pits, and Kudasov also into the pits. But let's go back to the battle for P5 then. Totev having a look. No, Totev still holding on to P5 then. Oderberg had a look, but is that Totev running wide? No. He's used all of the available track he can. Oderberg having a look up the inside. He's later on the brakes. Totev giving him the room, but he's defended onto that very well. And he keeps P5. Oderberg just needs to keep making these looks down the inside. Just trying to show himself in the rearview mirrors of Totev. But he's got some great opportunities here to make a move. But Totev is not an easy driver to pass. He's great at defending, but he's gone deep on the brakes in a bid to defend the next corner. Is that going to let Oderberg get the switchback? No. Totev still holds on there. Just about.
Finally, some.
Oh, that's all.
Drivers.
That's sorry. That's Oderberg down the inside, and he's got the move on Totev. Will this be Totev's opportunity or his indication to dive into the pits? Yes, it is. So yeah. Totev into the pits. Then Oderberg continues out on track. But yeah, continue what you're saying, Josh.
I was just going to say that there's drivers making some pit stops now. Early in the race, near enough the halfway mark now, about 4 minutes out, but it's yeah, nice to see those nice green boards now saying that they've done their mandatory stop, so definitely going to see more of them to come. But it's going to also be quite a thing to see, and we might just see at the end of the race there might be a few drivers who have actually gambled on not changing tyres. Maybe one or two drivers have chose not to, but I imagine everyone would have. But we might see the one oddball trying to make a run for it, getting away with the non-new tyres. But it really does depend on what the driver kind of wants.
Yeah, I think so, and I think the top three were going to possibly pit late. We don't want to get caught in any traffic by pitting early. You see there, the McLaren slightly bottoming out, bit of sparks, and oh, he's made there's a back marker there, I think, and has this compromised his run into the next corner? Bullshot trying to look around the outside, but no, he's run deep into the corner, and Kurt just about managed to hold on to P3 here. But who was that in the McLaren? Let's have a quick look. I'm not sure who that was actually. Was that Haskell? Yes, it was. Just about managing to get out of the way, but Bullshot having a look down the inside. Kurt leaves him the room, but he's not going to have the inside for the next corner. He's really trying everything he can to get past Kurt. He knows he has the pace towards the later stages of this race. A bit of a rhyme there, but I think the tyres of Hodgson dropping off. Thorsten Borchardt managing the tyres much better in the first stint, and Kurt going defensive now. But he maintains P3 at the moment, but he's compromised his exit. Now he's going defensive into Maggots through Beckett's. And he's just holding on. Kurt and Borchardt very good track knowledge here at Silverstone.
Now onto the hanger straight, now going into Stowe. Let's see if Thorsten Borchardt can actually make a move there. That looks like Nishira going, or no, that looks like, oh, Hodgson going defensive there. Let's see if he can make a move into Stowe. Thorsten goes round the outside into Stowe. Can he keep it on the outside? Oh, no, he can't. He has to tuck back in for the exit there. Well, let's see if Thorsten can tee him up now for the entry onto Vale. No, he can't. And it looks
He's
like
had a look around on the inside. Almost.
Exciting racing. This is very good.
Yeah, he's just keeping on the pressure to Hodgson here. He's just showing his nose up the inside every now and then to try and phase Hodgson, but I don't think it's working at the moment. I think he's going to have to rely on the pit stops to get the move done here. Both these drivers have raced with each other multiple times on console, and now it's back to PC.
It's a nice bit of evolution there, really, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely. Meeting on track once again.
It's great to see that the drivers are keeping it nice and clean. And Thorsten has dropped back a bit now. Now he's gonna. Now both the drivers going into Brooklands. Thorsten braking very late there, very good on the brakes. Now into Luffield. Let's see if he can make up any time to maybe try and tee up a move into Cops. That'd be definitely a funny move to make, but no, it looks like an.
Oh, that's Kurt into the pits.
Hodgson
yep.
In the pits. So Thorsten now's got no one in front of him to worry about. So this might take a bit of pressure off Thorsten. Let's see if anything changes there. But now it's Thorsten in third place with Nishira and Schrank, the top three.
Yeah, I think there we go, halfway through into the race. But I think Hodgson, not the best tactic to go into the pits early. He was out in front. He did have track position, and now that Borchardt has been released, he can put in the lap times. I think he knew he was quicker, and he can put in the lap times to try and overcut Hodgson here.
Let's see if he can. Let's see if Olsen can overcut Hodgson here. Let's see if he can keep the tyres, keep everything nice and controlled, so then when he really needs them, he can really push them out. But I wonder where Hodgson will come out the pits. What position he'll come out on. He's done his pit stop and he's out. He is in P4 at the moment, so he hasn't actually lost any positions. He's only really lost one. Oh no, he hasn't. He has actually lost one to Chris Pisak there. Now he's in P4 there, the 315 BMW. He made a mistake and he's already in P4. That is a tremendous recovery in the early part of the race, but he hasn't done his pit stop yet. So let's see where his pit stop does put him out on.
Yeah, we can also see in the bottom right hand corner of your screen, that's Luke Viken defending from Sheck. So they've come out of the pit stops very close to each other, and we saw actually Luke Viken managed to make the move on Sheck. Sheck's doing everything he can to try and fight back, but the McLaren number 4 does seem to have the superior speed around Silverstone.
Definitely.
And,
That's
yeah,
there we go. A lot of factors.
Yeah.
Oh, and Thorsten is in the pits.
Yeah, Borchardt and Schrank now into the pits. I think Schrank's got this one easy, but the last lap from Nishira has been very quick, 158.7.
Ooh.
So consistently lapping in the 158s. But Schrank was lapping in the 157s. So I think Schrank will come out ahead of Nishira even after the pit stops. Nishira still yet to make his stop. But where is Kurt Hodgson? He's stuck behind, I believe that's Carl Van Horn. I'm not too sure. Yes, it is. Both on different strategies. And it's not going to help. He's going to have a look down the inside. No, Carl Van Horn has no obligation to move out of the way. But I think Kurt's going to have to want to get past soon enough. Here we go. Borchardt's been dropped off the jacks. Where is Kurt? It's going to be close. He's trying to get past and still not able to do so. Where is Borchardt? No, Kurt's jumped him. Kurt's jumped him. So he's still held on.
Undercut there.
Yeah, no. He was out ahead before, so he still managed to stay ahead. and possibly not changing
yeah.
tyres. What's the gap between those two? We'll check. No, it's I think both drivers must be on the same strategy. There we go. Kurt managed to get past Carl Van Horn. Now it's put a driver between him and Borchardt, which is going to help tremendously in this battle for what would be P3, I believe, once the pit stops are all out of the way. But yeah, just 6.5 minutes left of the pit window, and we've still got a few drivers left to pit. So Chris Piszek keeping it out long. Carl Van Horn also trying to go long for the first stint. But I believe everyone else, let's look further down the field, everyone else has made their pit stop. And now let's go to the battle for P11. Michaels has come out ahead of Brewer. Brewer's just 4/10 behind him. So the two Astons been battling it out since the start of the race, and even after the pit stop, still neck and neck here. But where is Fernandez? Fernandez has dropped back quite a bit. He was ahead of both these two Astons. And he's now down in P13, 4.5 seconds behind, with Victor Gerson not too far behind him either. And now we've got another battle down in P21. Stuart Pryor is ahead of Bath and Cameron and Haskell. So we've got a 4-car battle. 1, 2, 3, 4-car battle, yeah, for P21, which you don't usually see this far down the field. Let's go on the rear view wing cam of Pryor here. Jan dropping off slightly, but Pryor not having the best corner there. He missed the apex slightly, and that's allowed Bath to catch up tremendously there. And he's going to focus on the exit now, taking different lines. See the Porsche of Bath just bouncing over the curbs there. But look at this, 4 cars lining up for P21, all eager to get a position. Let's go trackside again. Now, where's Carl Van Horn actually? Has he come out? No, he's up in, that should say P20, that will update shortly, but Sheck has jumped in. Let's go back to the battle for, let's go back to this battle actually for P21. And Pryor still holding on. Bath in P22, Cameron in P23, and James Haskell just behind in P24. But he's going to have some amazing slipstream coming down the straight here. But here we go, Haskell, that's Cameron going defensive now. Haskell with a little dummy there, but he's not able to get the move done, a bit too far back. And Cameron defending the inside very, very well. Let's go on board. Oh, that's the wrong camera. There we go. On board now with James Haskell, who's adamant to get this move done on Cameron. He's having a look up the inside, just showing himself there. And I'm sure Cameron will be looking in the rear view mirrors. That's all. Cameron trying to go defensive now. And the braking, and Haskell having a late look up the inside. Has he got the move done? Side by side, and I think Cameron's still got the inside there. Haskell trying to focus on the exit, but he's gone really wide there. And actually, it's worked out. He's got the better exit. Cameron's going to struggle coming down the straight here. He's gone defensive very, very early. And let's see if he can hold on here later on the brakes compared to Haskell. I think Haskell's going to have to settle for P24. No, I've spoken too soon. Going to try for the later apex to get the run down the straight once again. But it's just a fact of setting yourself up for the next corner. And there we go. He's baited the inside. And Haskell having a look up the inside now. Is he going to be later on the brakes? No, Cameron with a slide. Big slide. And he's lost the car. Almost lost the car. And he's kept it together. But he's lost the position there. And Haskell's consistent pressure has paid off up into P23 then for Haskell. Let's go back to the battle now for P3. We didn't actually catch this. Hodgson losing out of position. So Borchardt up into P3 then, and Hodgson down into P4. So that's going to be a podium for Borchardt provisionally, unless something else happens. But still 21 minutes left of the race, and anything can happen here in racing. Let's go back down to the battle for P5. Looks like Oderberg is holding on to P5 here after the move he made on Totev before the pit stops, I believe it was. The gap between let's have a look at this gap between the Shearer and Borchardt is coming down, and I think the Shearer has made a mistake somewhere because he's lost he's 16 seconds back to Frank. So I'm not quite sure what happened there, but he's under the firing range now from Borchardt, who's just a second back. This could be a possible P2 for Borchardt. There we go, pit window is now closed, and everyone has served their mandatory pit stop. And
let's see if Borchardt can close the gap now. So I think this is going to shape up to be a battle coming down to the definitely coming down to maybe the last laps of the race. So let's keep our eye out on this battle.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on this battle. Looks like Borchardt is closing the gap slightly. I think that's... it looked like less than a second, but on the exit, just the Constantina effect, on the exit it is about a second now, once again. So the Shearer just managing the gap. There we go, 9/10 actually. But the Shearer just managing the gap here. Borchardt kicking a bit up of the dirt on the inside. It's not going to help with his tyres. And Silverstone, quite an easy track to pick up slow punctures here. Curbs are very, very aggressive, and you have to be careful. But a flash of lights from Borchardt. I think he knows he's on stream here. Let's go back trackside, and got another battle down for P12. Wilson Fernandez and Victor Guisson, where these drivers started. So both drivers currently running in the positions where they're qualified in, so no position gains for either of them, but Guisson looking to make some gains here. Right on the back of Fernandez, coming through Maggots and Beckett. He's gained some time there now, he's going to have a nice run down the straight. I don't remember the corner names here at Silverstone, honestly, which is not great from me, but yeah, Victor Guisson not close enough to make a move.
Looks to be now, is that round the outside?
Actually, no, Victor Guisson has the inside now, and he's got the move done, so a position gain there from Guisson up into P12, and Fernandez down into P13, then Totev right in the back of... Oh, we've got a good battle going on here. Axel Oderberg made a mistake, picked up a bit of grass, and we're going side by side now. And Totev managing to get past Oderberg. So another change in positions for the two drivers. Oderberg's not going to be happy with that. He's going to want to get the position back. after all his hard work in the first stint. He's lost the position in the second stint to Totev. But let's go back to the battle for second then. You can see that Borchardt closing the gap to the Shearer now. 0.6 of a second between the two. And the gap is coming down. Hodgson quite far back. Not able to keep up with the two drivers in front. 5 seconds, so he's obviously made another mistake somewhere. But yeah, he was a second slower last lap compared to Borchardt, who's lapping 0.3 quicker than the Shearer as well. And Schrank out in his own in no man's land at the moment, lapping in the 58, the low 58s. So I think he'll be perfect for the win here at Silverstone, barring any mistakes he makes. And the Shearer and Borchardt now coming up to some traffic. I believe that's Yannik P. Yes, it is. And oh, that's David Sheck with a drive-through penalty. There we go, Yannik moving out the way very well for the lead cars here. It's a good sportsmanship there from Yannik, abiding to the blue flags. And we've actually got another battle heating up for, seems to be P9, I believe. Leon is just ahead of Chris Pizik making some gains now. Last time we saw he was P15 before the pit stops, I think. And he's made up a lot of positions. I know it's just damage limitation for him. Let's see if he can get another few positions here. David Michaels just up ahead of Leon as well. So practically leading this train, if you'd like to call it. David Michaels in P8, Leon in P9, who's actually closing the gap to Michaels. Chris Pizik in P10, and Brewer, who's lost a lot of time to this back ahead, so I'm not sure what's happened to him. He's made a mistake somewhere out on track. Now let's actually go down to the battle for P14. Kudasov is having to defend from Bilotti. Bilotti's looking good in the second half of the race here. He started in P15, so he's not gained any positions yet, but he's maintained P15. He's looking to make a move here on Kudasov, coming through Maggots and Beckett's now. And they've actually got Luke Viken, who's started in P8, has lost 8 positions off the start, so not the best race for him. But he's just waiting in the wings of the two drivers ahead. And there we go, that's Bilotti down the inside. No, Kudasov trying to hold it around the outside, and he does successfully. But he's compromised his exit there. He's run slightly wide. No, he's kept it within track limits. Has Bilotti got the inside? No, he's had to back out of that one. He needs to be careful now because Luke Viken is right in the back of this train. And if he tries to go for a move on Kudasov, he's going to open up the door for Viken. Bilotti just contemplating whether to have a look up the inside, but he doesn't want to because Viken is super close, but he's having a look now. No, a bit too far back. Is Viken very late on the brakes? Oh, I think he's going to have to give that position back to Bilotti. That was extremely late. Bilotti had to take evasive action to not make contact. Yeah, there we go. So Luke, no, he's not giving the position back. Actually, still racing for position. I think Bilotti's going to be quite startled after that.
Definitely, yeah. That was quite late, really. Very, very tremendous, but pretty late. I would, looks like a move I would do for certain. But yeah, that's. I don't know how both the drivers will be feeling about that. But I'm sure, well, I definitely think that position should be given back, but yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, maybe Bilotti is okay with that, I'm not too sure. It was a send from a mile back, but it has paid off, and a no contact was made. So Luke Viken up into P15, Bilotti down into P15. Kenny just responding to you, Josh, saying, yeah, he believes that would be a move that you'd make. But let's go back to the battle for P2. Nishira still holding on, but look how close. Borchardt is 0.4 of a second between the two. That's absolutely nothing separating these two drivers. And Borchardt just showing himself down the inside, but it's not going to phase Nishira at all. Nishira is great under pressure, and the huge Bentley or Boatley, whatever you'd like to call it, is taking up half of the track here. Completely taking the right lines and placing the car exactly where it needs to be to hold off Borchardt. Both drivers lapping very similar lap times. I think Nishira about half a tenth slower that last lap.
Beautiful complex of corners here at Silverstone, Magnus Beckett's and Chapel. Just a beautiful sequence of turns, and almost all of them flower in a Formula 1 car, but I think there's more exciting in GT. There's a lot more action going on and a lot easier for
as you say that, Totev has picked up a drive that would be for track limits. He's really not going to be happy after that. Currently running in P5, and he started in P6, so he's actually gained a position and now has picked up a drive-through, which is really unfortunate. He's going to drop down the order quite a lot because the cars behind him are extremely close, and that is, I believe that's James Haskell just moving out the way, so good sportsmanship from him. But Borchardt is extremely close now. You can see the back end just wiggling from that 89 BMW. Nishira slightly going defensive, and Borchardt very late on the brakes. Bit of a short shift there from Nishira. He's going to have to take a defensive line now, because Borchardt is right at the back of him, but no, on the exit he's lost some time. The gap now opens up once again. Yeah, just 10 minutes, actually 9.5 minutes left. And Borchardt is running out of time here to make a move on Nishira. But let's go down to the battle. Actually bring it up on the secondary scene here. Let's do that in a second. Oh no, I don't think it's actually going to work. We'll leave that for now. But yeah, let's go down to the battle for P9 once again. Michaels has actually got past Leon. Actually, no, he hasn't, sorry. Michaels has lost time to Leon, so Leon is right at the back of Michaels. And Leon's not got much time. Time's running out to make a move. Let's actually go back to this battle. Looks like Nishira is going defensive, and Borchardt very, very close between the two drivers. Has Nishira lost the position? Borchardt trying to keep around the outside. Oh, bit of a wiggle for him on exit, but he's got the position done off track. But I think he would have had that done anyways. Can Nishira respond? Borchardt's going to have to go defensive. Yes, he does. Nishira's going to try and get the switch back here. Can he do it? No. Borchardt just blocking him off. Nishira now trying to go for the later apex to get the run down the straight. And I think he's got a better run, but he's not close enough. He's not going to be close enough coming to the braking zone. So he's going to have to sit in P3, sorry. And he's gone for the later apex once again. He's just focusing on his exit. He's thinking steps ahead here. But I'm not sure if it's going to pay off well, because Borchardt is now opening up a slight gap to Nishira. Let's have a look at the race leader. Frank still running perfectly. Hasn't put a foot wrong here. Now let's go down to the battle for P8 once again. Let's go on board with the with the BMW here of Leon. You still can't get past Michaels. Michaels doing a great job at defending. And where is Chris Pizzak? Chris Pizzak running in P7, so he's pulled away from Michaels and Leon. But a very good recovery drive from Chris. I think he's going to have to be my driver of the day, to be honest. He had his spin at the start, qualified in P5, and after his spin he was all the way down in P20 something. He's made it all the way back up to P7, which is honestly outstanding. Great drive from Chris Pizzak. But it looks like Leon has got the better exit. You can see Michael's going defensive. Is Leon going to have to try around the outside? Yes, he does. Waits for the last second to pull out the slipstream. And he's really not giving David Michaels enough room. But Michael's defending very well. And Leon not able to get past. There's just enough room there between the two drivers. And they've come out the corner well. No contact. I think this is the best racing we've had all season, to be honest, and we're not even halfway yet, so definitely more to expect. But yeah, there hasn't really been any contact this race from what we've seen, at least. Leon with a bit of damage on the front of his car, so maybe there has been some contact. And Michaels, oh, I'm not sure what's happened there, compromised his entry slightly. Had to go defensive, but good defensive line from Michaels. He's still holding on to P8. Let's go down to the battle now for P14. I believe it's a 3-car battle here. Kudisov holding on to P14. Luke Viken and Bilotti right on the back of him now. Luke Viken, after the impressive torpedo dive bomb we saw a few laps ago, still holding on to P15. And a bit of a lock up there from Kudasov. Oh, Luke Viken's made a mistake. Is that going to allow Bilotti round the outside? I think he's gone deep on the brakes as well, so no. He's not going to have the position. This is allowed Kudasov now to open up a slight gap to the two drivers. Actually, let's go trackside now. Bilotti's going to try it round the outside. Let's see how this comes off for him. No, he's not able to get that done. And Viken's still holding on to P15. Let's go back to this battle for P2. Looks like Mashira has dropped off slightly. Borchardt has been able to open the gap, but look at that, Schrank with a nearly 21 second lead here. It's an absolute dominant performance from him. And I really don't think anyone's going to be able to catch him. He's going to be running away with the lead into the coming into the 4th round after this. And we've got another battle heating for P11. Scott Brewer holding off Guisson. We saw Guisson making the move on Fernandez a few laps ago, and now he's closed the gap to Brewer. Totev, you can see there in P10 after his drive-through penalty, so hasn't lost too many positions, but was running up in, I believe, P6, very close. Oh no, P5 actually. He made the move on Oderberg. But he's picked up a drive-through and now down in P10, only 2.5 seconds off of Leon. But here we go, Brewer going defensive now, coming down towards Brooklands and Luffield now. There we go, I finally remembered the corner names. But yeah, Brewer manages to hold on. That's James Haskell, I believe, moving out the way once again. Very good racing etiquette from Haskell. We'll keep an eye on this battle here for P11. We've also got another battle going down for P22. This battle's all over the field. Cameron still holding off. Actually, I think Prize actually made a mistake because Prize was leading this train. He was ahead of Jan Barth actually in P21. So he's definitely made a mistake and he's dropped behind Cameron now. So Cameron, after his slide through Stowe, I believe it was, has now been able to hold on to P22. There we go, we heard leader on the final lap. Robin Schwank coming through Magnus and Beckett, but where is Thorsten? He's opened up a gap, a second gap to Nishira. It said it was a second, but no. It's 4/10 now. I think Borchardt's made a mistake somewhere. Nishira needs to put on the pressure. He wants to try and get the move done. This is the final lap to make any position gains. And here we go, where is Robin Schwank? There we go, coming across the line, I believe now. No, it's not, sorry. That's the other start finish line. So yeah, coming into almost into sector 3. But we'll keep on board with Schwank. Let's go on board with him. It's an absolute dominant performance from him. Hasn't put a foot wrong the entire race. Qualified on pole, and he's just run away with it. Here we go, coming through the final few corners now. But not surprisingly, not with the best lap time. Actually, that's incorrect. I think his best lap time was his best lap time was actually a 1:58.1, but was invalid, I believe. Here we go, Robin Schwank coming across the line, finishing in P1. An absolute dominant performance from him. Let's look back to DasStopsChild in P2, still holding on to Nishira, and the gap's about a second now between the two drivers. So Borchardt coming across the line in P2, making up some places. Started in P4, and I'm sure we'll be happy with that result. Nishira finishing in P3 after starting in P2, so losing a position. Kurt Hodgson starting in P3, losing a position, but finishing in P4. Oderberg making up 2 positions off the start of his starting position, finishing in P5. That's going to be a good haul of points for him. Flash of the lights, and you can see Zachetti extremely close, finishing in P6. Chris Pizek in P7, definitely gets the driver of the day from me. David Michaels finishing in P8. Managing to hold off against... Oh, this is very, very close. I think that's Totev just got ahead of Leon there. So Totev in P9, Leon in P10, Brewer in P11, holding off Gerson in P12, and Fernandez P13, Kudasov P14, Bilotti P15. Actually, Bilotti just about holding on to P15. Luke Viken in P16, losing the position actually. Tom Curtin in P17 and Ortiz P18. But let's switch to the interview. Let's see if we can interview from the top 3. So first we had Robin Schwank. Second was Borchardt. And third was, I believe, Mattia Nishira. Yeah, let's see if we can drag them into the interview room here. There we go, we've got both drivers. Let's bring in Borchardt to the interview waiting room. Here we go. Borchardt starting in P4, I believe it was, if I can remember correctly. But making it up into P2. Good race from you. Managed to get the move done on Kurt. And up into P2.
Yeah, that was really hard racing, really hard. And to be honest, I knew before the race I couldn't win, but pace for P2 is in. And yeah, qualifying was a bit disappointed. I was 4 tenths behind my practice pace, so P4 the race start was hard. Till pit stop, few laps, hard fight with Kurt. I must say was really hard but fair. And in the end, I could win the fight. And Nishira, I think P2 made a mistake, so I could close to him. And in the end, also it was a very great maneuver, hard on throttle, and yeah. It was hard fight. It was war, no race.
Yeah, I think this has definitely been the toughest race of the season so far for all of the drivers, really. Apart from Robin Schrank, who's completely gone in the lead. But P2 is a good position, good points for the championship. And yeah, let's hope you can continue the great results for next week.
I hope.
Yeah, so congratulations on P2.
Thanks.
And now we'll bring in Robin Schrank, our race winner here. We've got Robin Schrank in the booth with us. Congratulations on yet another dominant victory. And how was that race for you?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really tell you too much because, I had a good qualifying, managed to get in a decent lap. And on the start, I had the inside, could go into the lead immediately, and then I could pull out a gap around 2 seconds. And then Nishira slowly started reeling me back in, so I got a bit worried, but then all of a sudden, I don't know why the tires had a second life, and I was able to really push them. I had like a race time of 58.0, then a 0.7, 0.8, 0.7, and then I was on course for a still 57.5, but then I got myself a couple of track cuts too much, and I backed off a bit to not risk it. And then I had a really careful stop because I actually forgot to train the pit in. Oof. So I was kind of nervous on to where is the line exactly, especially with the sun being so low that it was really blinding. But then for some reason, I don't know why, I emerged with 3 seconds ahead, and when Nishira had this, I don't know what happened, I just saw that all of a sudden he had lost about 8 seconds. I was considering trying once again to go for the fastest lap, but after getting my third cut, I was more focused on taking the race home.
Yeah, Nishira made a mistake somewhere, and he also lost the position to Thorsten, who had a very tough battle with him. But they managed to come out on top. But congratulations on P1, and coming into next round, you are once again holding on to the championship lead at the moment. But next round is, let's just double check what the next round is. I don't even remember myself. It is Snetterton. How are you feeling about Snetterton? Are you confident around there?
First of all, I hope I can attend that race because I'm helping a friend move on that day, so I'm hoping I can be here on time. But Snetterton, I really don't have that much experience on Snetterton, but from what I've kind of found out on testing, that the McLaren has its strong points there, but it's definitely not favored there just because the right height for the McLaren is so low that every curb, every bump essentially lets it bottom out. So I'm very interested to see how it will turn out against the M4s and the Bentley on the field.
Yeah, let's hope all works well for you and you are able to attend next week. But once again, congratulations on P1, and yeah, we hope to see you next week.
I hope so too. Have a good time.
You too. Right, there we go then. Top two at least in the commentary booth. We had Robin Schrank and T.Borchardt. I don't think Nishira will be joining us, but there we go. That is a race result. And coming into next round, we do have Robin Schrank leading the championship. But make sure to tune in tomorrow for the ACC PlayStation Championship. We have 3 divisions tomorrow, about 4 p.m. BST it's going to be. So make sure to tune in then. I'm sure the time change is going to muddle up a few people, but we'll inform everyone and make sure everyone is aware of the daylight time savings. But yeah, until then, have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.